A very good morning to everyone. Welcome in the class. As we say, let's crack CSIR UGC net together. You're watching this video under the platform of Unacademy. Unacademy is one of the India's largest learning platform for the preparation of CSIR UGC net examination and various other competitive examinations. Let us begin. I'm your educator Farida Johar Bandukwala. I have a teaching experience of 10 years and I've qualified MP SLET examination in year 2018. Before beginning with the topic of today, that is isoelectric gel focusing, let us have a small introduction about an academy. An academy is one of the India's largest platform, as we have seen. An academy gives daily life classes, and with the help of daily life classes, you'll be always into that momentum of studies, so that you can always be in that zone of studying. And live classes gives the benefit of asking your doubts and queries while the class is going on. So, live classes. Then the whole syllabus is quite structured. What do we mean by structured course? That syllabus for any kind of competitive examination is vast. And other than being the vastness of syllabus, we don't know what is the limit of studying a particular topic. So that can be very much easily understood by attending the lectures of an academy. Your faculties, they try to cover the topic which within the limit of examination, so that you can get a complete idea that okay, fine, I have to study this much in this particular topic. So that is the thing. Then live tests and quizzes are taken so that you can evaluate yourself that how much you have learned so far. Otherwise it gets really tricky that uh, keeping on studying and then coming across a doubt. So better you first of all study the theory and then attempt the test. So that is also possible with an academy. Then unlimited access towards all the videos and lectures which has been recorded in that particular category, and all the study material you can get for whichever category you are opting for. Then Unacademy tries to give free live classes on two platforms, that is YouTube. So presently you're watching a free YouTube class, and by watching for watching the YouTube class, what you need to do is you need to subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon for getting all the notifications of the upcoming classes, and you can go to the channel and you can watch the videos which has been recorded previously. So it is as simple as that. Then special classes are again free classes. For these special classes, what you need to do is you just need to download the Unacademy Learning app from the Google Play Store. After downloading the app, you need to make your account. After making the account, you need to use the referral code of an educator. So you use my referral code, that is FB01, and then you will be able to attend the free live classes of all the educators as well as mine. It's not so that you are using my referral code so you won't be able to attend the classes of other educators. No, you'll be able to attend the classes of other educators as well. Then there is this plus subscription. So what is so good about this plus subscription is whole syllabus is defined and outlined in this plus subscription. So all the topics are there, and those topics which we don't teach on YouTube and which we don't teach on special platform, we teach each and every topic on plus subscription. So that is the benefit of taking a plus subscription. This is a paid subscription, but the amount is very, very pocket friendly. You don't have to bother looking at the thing that it's a paid subscription. It's so pocket friendly, anyone can afford it. And recently, a major discount is going on. For 12 months, you have to pay just 11,500 rupees, and for 24 months, you need to pay 16,800 rupees. So that is very, very pocket friendly. And still, the discount is not over. You can get an additional 10% discount if you're using my referral code FB01. So do not forget to use my referral code FB01 even for special free classes and for plus classes. So it's going to cost you 10,395 for 12 months and 15,120 rupees for 24 months. It's quite pocket friendly, right? So this was about an academy and the courses offered. Coming to the topic of today, that is isoelectric gel focusing. Right, this is the topic of today. So we'll be writing it IEF. Okay, so this process of isoelectric gel focusing, it began in the year 1964 when Olaf Westberg um, filed a Swedish patent on the synthesis of new chemicals called as carrier ampholytes. So that was the beginning of isoelectric gel focusing. So remember the name of the scientist, that is Olaf Westerberg. So he filed a Swedish patent for new chemicals which are called as ampholites. So this was the time. But this is just the first time when the whole idea actually started taking the shape. But the technique was actually popularized by another two scientists and another one scientist, and his name is H. Svensson. And he was also a Swedish, he was also from Sweden, and he was the one who popularized the technique. Popularized the technique. So H. Stevenson was the one. Right. Now, this was a brief history that whenever we talk about anything, we try to give the credit of the thing to the people who actually gave this idea, because that is very much important. Now, talking about the term that is isoelectric, right? So, what is the meaning of ISO? ISO means, we know what is the meaning of ISO, isn't it? ISO means same, and then electric. Electric means charge. Same, charge. So isoelectric gel focusing. Iso means same, electric means charge. So same charge, gel focusing. That is the thing. So isoelectric focusing is a technique for separating different amphoteric molecules based on their isoelectric point. And what is this isoelectric point? Isoelectric point is the pH at which the net charge of all the protein is zero. So after that, when the protein molecules they move, that is isoelectric gel focusing. So we'll write these two things. These two sentences are quite important, that isoelectric focusing is a technique for, it's a technique for separation of different amphoteric molecules. Different amphoteric molecules based on their isoelectric point. Based on their isoelectric point. Right now, when we are saying what is this isoelectric point, coming to the thing that what is this isoelectric point. So isoelectric point is nothing but it's a pH. It's a pH at which net charge of the protein is zero. It's a pH at which net charge of a protein is zero. So this was a little introduction about isoelectric gel focusing. Now let us talk about the principle of isoelectric gel focusing, right? So principle. So isoelectric focusing is performed in a pH gradient. First thing, it is performed on pH gradient. Proteins are amphoteric molecules, we know, that is with acidic as well as basic buffering groups or the side chains. So proteins are the amphoteric molecules, and this process it is performed on a pH gradient. So if it is a basic environment, the acidic groups will become negatively charged, and if the environment is acidic, the basic groups are going to become positively charged. So we have to look for an isoelectric point when the pH or the charge of protein is actually zero. So protein with same molecular weight are going to separate out because of their pH, separate out by pH. So proteins which are positively charged in the solution at a particular pH value which is below isoelectric point are going to migrate towards cathode, and the proteins which are negatively charged in the solution at a pH that is above isoelectric point are going to migrate towards anode. And this is how we are going to separate the protein based on their isoelectric point. So this is the principle of isoelectric gel focusing. So I've explained you the principle. Let us just note down the principal points and then we'll be moving towards the procedure. So let us begin that isoelectric gel focusing is performed on a pH gradient. It's performed in a pH gradient. This is the first thing. Then proteins are actually amphoteric molecules with the presence of acidic and basic side chains. So proteins are amphoteric as they contain or they have as they contain acidic and basic side chain. Right? They are the amphoteric molecules. Now, if we are saying that they are amphoteric molecules, so what other thing that we need to see is that in basic environment, acidic groups becomes negatively charged. Acidic group becomes negatively charged. One thing. Now, in acidic environment, talking about the acidic environment. So in acidic environment, the basic groups, they are going to become positively charged. Basic groups becomes positively charged. Right? These are the two conditions. Now talking about the isoelectric point, how is it going to be represented? Isoelectric point. So at this point, the net charge of protein is going to be 0. Net charge of protein. So most important thing that you need to know, that whenever we are talking about isoelectric point or we are talking about isoelectric gel focusing, we are talking about separation of protein. So net charge of protein is 0, right? So remember this thing. Then proteins with the same molecular weight, having the same molecular weight, how are we going to separate them? So they are going to be separated based on their isoelectric point. Like we know, while in the gel they run based on their weight, on their molecular structure, how complex they are and how compact they are and how heavy they are. But here when we are talking about isoelectric gel focusing, we are basically talking about the isoelectric point. We are talking about the charge. So here, instead of molecular weight, it is based on their charge. So with the same molecular weight, they are going to be separated out based on their pH. So proteins with same molecular weight will be separated on basis of pH. Right? This is the thing. Now proteins which are positively charged, proteins which are positively charged in solution in a solution of pH which is below isoelectric point, are going to migrate obviously. Where are they going to migrate? They are going to migrate towards the negatively charged electrode. So that is, they are going to migrate towards cathode, right? And vice versa we can write, or proteins which are negatively charged in solution of pH which is above isoelectric point are going to migrate towards, or going to move towards anode. Move towards anode, as they need to go towards the positive, opposite direction they are going to move. So this is the principle of our isoelectric gel focusing. We have seen the principle, that what is the basic thing. Now we need to know the procedure, that how it is performed. So now let us move towards the procedure of the process. So procedure. Each and every step we'll be talking and we'll be writing down. So protein are going to be loaded at the top column where the pH is very high, right? First thing, where the protein will be loaded, it will be loaded at the top column where the pH is high, towards the high alkalinity. Proteins or protein is loaded at the top of a column where pH is very high, where pH is very high, right? This is the first thing. Now, most of them are negatively charged at this pH. Most of them are going to behave negatively charged at this pH. So let us try the second. Most of them are negatively charged at this pH. Now, next step. Protons are stripped from the side chain. Protons would be stripped out from the side chain. Protons are going to be stripped off, or they are going to be removed, stripped or removed from side chain or side residues, whatever you call it, right? This is the next thing. So this procedure we are talking in terms of the biochemical reactions which are going on, right? So next, proteins move in the electric field towards the distant cathode and away from the nearby cathode, right? Because protons are going to be stripped off. So proteins will move towards cathode and away from anode. Okay. So next, now as the proteins they move towards the pH gradient, they gain positive charge and they reach a point where they become completely neutral. So this is what is going to happen, that as they are moving towards the pH gradient, we know that the proteins are going to move in a pH gradient when we are talking about isoelectric gel focusing. So when they are moving towards the uh, cathode, they are going to become neutral at a point. So next step is, as the proteins move through pH gradient, they gain positive charge. They gain positive charge and reach neutrality. So the pH at which they reach the isoelectric point, the protein, they are not going to have any charge and they are going to stop. So at pH which is equal to their isoelectric point, proteins have no charge and they stop. They stop at that particular point. This is the thing. So protein, they are going to stop exactly when the isoelectric point is reached or the pH of isoelectric point is reached. And the proteins, they are stained, so they become visible where they have actually reached. So proteins stop exactly when pH of isoelectric point is reached and the stained proteins and the stained proteins are very visible because of their staining, right? So which point was that? This was 6. So let us write this 7. And lastly, highly stable ampholites are the molecules with specific pKa to give a specific and unchanging pH gradient, because we know that they are going to move in a column in a gradient of pH. So what are the things which are going to give this column of varied gradient? They are the ampholytes. So what are they? They are highly stable ampholytes. Highly stable ampholytes are molecules with a specific pKa value to give a specific and unchanging pH gradient. Unchanging pH gradient. So let us have a look at this. How are we going to see this? Just see. We are going to draw a picture. So this is the column we are drawing. Just don't look at the shape of the thing because it is not very clear. So here the pH would be low and here the pH would be high. So this is the pH gradient, right? This is the pH gradient. So how the pH gradient is maintained? An ampholyte solution is incorporated into gel. Is incorporated into gel. This is how. So this is the diversifying pH or a pH gradient. So we'll write over here a stable pH gradient. Stable pH gradient is established. Stable pH gradient is established in the gel after application of after application of an electric field. After application of an electric field. Now, in the next step, what is going to happen? Protein is going to be added. So, addition of protein. Addition of protein and electric field is reapplied. Like when we want to make a gradient, for that, first of all, we have added the electric field. Then for some time, when the protein was being added, it was stopped. After the protein was added, there was again application of electric field. And electric field again applied. After that, there will be the whole gradient. So we'll be seeing bands like this, so somewhat like this, and these whole tubes, they are actually filled with the gel and ampholytes. This yellow color is denoting the gel, and ampholytes we are not drawing it specifically. So when protein is added, it will be forming the bands, right? So let us take the pen. So this is actually negative. This is the negative electrode. This is the positive electrode. This is the negative. This is the positive. This is negative and this is positive. So after staining has occurred, or after staining of protein, after staining, proteins are visible as bands. Proteins are visible as bands along the distribution of pH gradient. So they are going to stop at that particular place where their Pi has become 0 or isoelectric point has reached. At that particular point, they are just going to stop. They are not going to move any further. If that point is reached, okay, fine. Now they are not moving. So some are going to move farther and some are not going to move farther. This is how the process of isoelectric gel focusing occurs. Now let us talk about the whole process a little bit more. Some of the points are left. So separation is achieved by applying a potential difference across the gel that contain a pH gradient. So that we need to, we have just seen that, just we need to note it down that achieved, separation is achieved by applying a potential difference, across a gel that contain a pH gradient, that contain a pH gradient. Then isoelectric focusing cannot occur on a liquid thing, so it needs a solid support. And in usual cases, agarose gel and polyacrylamide gel is used. So for isoelectric gel focusing, we'll write a sentence for this. Isoelectric focusing requires requires solid support, requires solid support such as agarose gel, and polyacrylamide gel. Polyacrylamide gel. These are the two things which are not two things, but these are the solid support which is needed. So maybe agarose gel or maybe polyacrylamide gel. Now the isoelectric focusing gel, they need to contain the buffers, and these buffers are called as ampholytes. And these ampholytes are responsible for making a very smooth pH gradient along the column. So these ampholytes are the one from where the story started. We have seen that the scientist who first he went for a patent of those particular things. So those particular things were ampholytes, and he went for their patent. So Olaf Westberg was the one who actually gave the concept of ampholytes. And after that, the second person, that is Ed Severson, he was also a Swedish, and Olaf was also a Swedish. They both actually worked in this direction, and one was the person who actually popularized the thing, and another one was the one who actually gave the concept of ampholytes. So ampholytes are needed for making a smooth column of pH gradient, right? So isoelectric gel focusing contains buffers, and these buffers are actually synthetic. So would be writing synthetic buffers, contains synthetic buffers called as ampholytes. And these ampholytes that smooth the pH gradients. Fine. After that, ampholytes, what are they actually? They are a complex mixture of synthetic polyamino polycarboxylic acid. So what are they? And commercially available ampholytes, they are BioLite and Pharmalite. These are two of the names of the commercially available ampholytes. So we'd be writing that ampholytes are complex mixtures, are complex mixtures of what? Synthetic polyamino, synthetic polyamino polycarboxylic acid, polycarboxylic acid, right? Remember, synthetic polyamino polycarboxylic acid. We would highlight this, synthetic polyamino polycarboxylic acids, right? So commercially, commercially, commercially available ampholytes, they are BioLite and Pharmalite and Formalite. Right, these are the two. Now let us talk about the immobilized pH gradient, and then we'll be talking about the application advantages of our isoelectric gel focus. Right. So just a second. So the next thing that we need to talk about is immobilized pH gradient. Immobilized pH gradient. So this immobilized pH gradient, it was first time was developed by Rigetti, and it was developed in year 1990. So immobilized pH gradient, how is it actually obtained? It is obtained by buffering the acrylamide derivatives. That is how we get an immobilized pH gradient. So immobilized pH gradient. So immobilized pH gradient is generated by buffering acrylamide derivatives. Acrylamide derivatives. So the foam supported gel strips are very easy to handle in case of the thing. So the foam supported gel strips are easy to handle, are easy to handle. So fixed gradient are actually consistent during the isoelectric gel focusing. The fixed gradient are consistent during isoelectric focusing. So less protein loss will occur, or less protein loss, then the carrier ampholyte will occur. Less protein loss, then carrier ampholyte, then carrier ampholyte will occur. So it was first time developed by, then it is generated how, then the foam or the film supported gel strips are very easy to handle, then the fixed gradient are consistent, and less protein loss will occur in the carrier ampholytes, right? Now talking about the applications of the isoelectric gel focusing application. So isoelectric gel focusing is actually a highly sensitive analytical technique, and it is very much useful for studying the microheterogeneity of various proteins and microheterogeneity in the proteins. So it's a highly sensitive analytical technique, highly sensitive analytical technique, useful for studying the useful for studying heterogeneity heterogeneity in a protein in a protein. Now let us see an example. A protein, maybe it is showing a single band on SDS gel, but may show three bands on isoelectric gel focusing. Why is it occurring? So this may occur, for example, when a protein exists in mono, di and triphosphorylated forms. So the difference of couple of phosphate groups has no significant effect at all in the relative overall molecular mass of the protein. So in SDS, it is just going to look a single band because that is based on the molecular weight. But just because of single charge difference or because of small charge difference, they are going to be producing three different bands when we are making them go through the isoelectric gel focus. So that is the beauty of isoelectric gel focusing, that even a single change in the charge can be easily seen, or it can be easily detected. So that's why it is called a sensitive analytical technique as compared to other techniques where SDS is giving just a single band for a protein. The isoelectric gel focusing may give you 2 to 3 bands, right? So method is useful for separating the isoenzymes, useful for separating isoenzymes. So what are isoenzymes? We have done a lecture on this also. So which are the different forms of the same enzyme, and often they differ only by 1 or 2 amino acids. So isoenzyme, where they differ just in 1 or 2 amino acid, the overall molecular weight cannot be very much different. It would be quite near about. When we are making them go through the isoelectric gel focusing, they are going to give different bands. They are going to behave differently. So 2D gel electrophoresis is an basically application of isoelectric focusing. Protein is first separated based on the isoelectric point and then based on the molecular weight using the SDS page. So 2D gel electrophoresis is like combination, or it's like elaboration of isoelectric gel focusing. So we'll be writing that 2D gel electrophoresis is an application of isoelectric gel focusing. So it is widely used for separation and identification of serum proteins. Separation of serum proteins. So for example, detection of oligoclonal bands in gamma globulin with the use of isoelectric gel focusing can be done. So this is how the separation of serum proteins, what we are saying, is done with the help of isoelectric focusing. So oligoclonal bands in the gamma globulin with the use of isoelectric gel focusing is done. Now when we have seen the applications, some of the very important and beautiful applications when we have seen, now let's come to the advantages. Advantages of isoelectric gel focusing. What are the advantages? So isoelectric gel focusing's greatest advantage is its high resolution. As we have seen, a single protein can give so many bands. So first advantage is high resolution. High resolution. And high resolution is going to result in greater separation of solutes. So second is greater separation, greater separation of solutes. Then isoelectric focusing of serum proteins, it result in more bands as compared to any other technique. So these bands are sharper, and because of the pH region is very narrow, so they are very much sharp. So serum proteins, serum proteins result in sharper bands, sharper bands because of because of narrow pH, right? Then performing isoelectric gel focusing is quite easier because the placement of same application is not important. So the sample and amphiolites, they can be mixed before the application. The amphiolites are going to migrate on their own. They're going to create the gradient, and the proteins, they are going to separate and migrate. So the technique is very easy to perform. So isoelectric focusing is easier to perform. So are you understanding that why it is easier to perform? Because the placement of the things is very easy. The sample, the ampholite, they can be just mixed in the column, and the ampholites are going to move according to them, and the sample protein is going to take its own place. So that is how it is so easy. So like this, we have completed the topic isoelectric gel focusing. covering almost everything. Initially, we have seen the history, then we have seen why it is called as isoelectric. So iso, because same, electric because of charge. Gel we use, that is the polyacrylamide gel or agarose gel, so it is called as gel. And focusing because they stop at the isoelectric point. So gel we are using is acrylamide or agarose. And focusing because they stop at specific pH. We are not writing isoelectric point over here because we have seen written isoelectric, so specific pH. So this is the breakdown of isoelectric gel focusing, right? Then we have seen isoelectric gel focusing. It's a technique, what kind of technique it is. Then what is isoelectric pH. Then we have seen what is the principle of whole process and basic environment, how it is going to behave, in acidic how it is going to behave. Then the proteins which are positively charged in the solution, how they are going to migrate, and how the negatively charged they are going to migrate. Then we have seen the procedure of this thing, that what biochemically this process is going to be. Biochemically, we have seen the procedure with so many different points. Total 8 points we have discussed. Then we have seen how technically we can do. How technically we first put the gel and then we put the ampholyte, so they arrange themselves according to the electric field, and then we add the protein and again we give it a electric field, and then they are going to arrange themselves according to that. So bands are created. So this is how technically it is performed, and we have seen the biochemical thing how it occurs. So this is all the technical thing. And commercially the ampholytes are available. They are in the name of BioLite and Pharmalite. And gel, we know that agarose gel and polyacrylamide gel is used, right? Then we need to know what is immobilized pH gradient, so that we have seen. And after that we have seen various applications, that for all what things it can be done. And then we have seen the advantages of isoelectric gel focusing. So this is how we have completed this topic nicely. And as we say in the end, let's crack CSIR UGC NET and GATE 2021 together. So that is the aim, to conduct these crash courses so that you qualify the examination. And that is the name of our channel as well. Let's crack CSIR UGC NET. If you haven't subscribed the channel yet, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for getting all the notifications of all the upcoming classes. And if you really liked my video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. It really motivates the educators. And for the plus subscription, use my referral code FB01 so that you can get an additional 10% discount. Recently, a major discount is going on, so do not miss this chance of getting the plus subscription. You will be needing my referral code for your special classes as well. Special classes are completely free. Use my referral code FB01 for getting the free classes. By using my referral code, you can watch the classes of mine as well as other educators. Lastly, it's a great thank you for your patient listening. Hope to see you at 5 o'clock in the evening. And in the evening, we'll be talking about an interesting topic of GATE syllabus. Hope to see you at 5 o'clock in the evening and tomorrow at 10:30 with an interesting topic of CSIR syllabus. So I hope that you people have enjoyed this class and you have really gained something from this class. And I hope that we'll be meeting in the evening, and we'll be meeting tomorrow morning and evening. So this is it for now. It's a bye from my side. Till then, be happy and keep on studying. Most importantly, keep on studying and be happy. So finally, it's a bye. We'll be meeting again.